What's going on, y'all? Welcome to Shade Super. Thank you so much for tuning in. It is Monday, April the 28th, 2025. I hope you guys had a blessed weekend, and I hope your Monday was blessed as well. All right. So, guys, tonight we are going to be talking about Diddy, y'all. What his defense team is doing. We are going to be talking about Shannon Sharpe legal battle, Jeffrey Epstein's full list, and whatever else I have to talk about in this 1 hour and a half live. All right. Thank you guys again for tuning in. Let me turn this music down a little bit. Guys, let me go ahead and do that copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act of 1976. Allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, education, and research. That entire copyright disclaimer is in my description area. Part of it is scrolling across that banner, and it will be in my comment area sometime soon, okay? Because sometimes I forget to put it there, guys. Okay, but I'll try to remember. All right, so guys, if you enjoyed this content tonight, make sure you thumbs up. If you are not subscribed to the channel, please subscribe below and hit that bell notifications so you can be notified of any upcoming videos. Make sure you share and leave a comment. And thank you guys so much. And if you want to show additional support for this channel, you can do that by doing these super stickers, super chat. You can copy yourself a membership for $4.99 per month, or you can do a cash app to $Shades2. Let me let you guys know all donations are used to pay for expenses for this channel. All right. And thank you in advance for that. All right, so welcome to everybody in the bushes. Welcome to everybody who watches us in the replay. What's up, Jermaine? Thank you so much for being here. And guys, we are going to go ahead and get started with this live because we only have an hour and a half. And tonight, I am going to be watching this clock and get off. All right, we're going to do this right tonight, like a regular TV show. So whatever we don't get a chance to talk about, we will finish that discussion tomorrow. We started something new over here on Shades Tube. We're going to try to start doing these videos and stop them like a regular TV show when me and Jermaine say, make the time, because I usually go over. Now occasionally we may go over, but not that much because I'll be tired, you guys, and then I'll be tired in the morning. Just be a trip. So an hour and a half. So I started it technically at 10 o'clock. So we have to 11:30 my time. Okay. So let's go ahead and get started with this live. Y'all make sure y'all go get y'all a relax and share a bed. Get you some water, something to eat if you eat this late. If you're at work, continue to do your job and watch me on the download. Don't be getting in trouble now. Just watch me on the download. And let's go ahead and start off with this live. All right. So first thing first, guys, we are going to talk about Diddy ass. Okay. Let's talk about Diddy, man. Let's go ahead over here and change this banner. I'm so glad my mic is on tonight. Now, I don't know how long it's going to stay. Probably for a whole week or two, then it'll be off again until I get another computer, which won't be no time soon. So we're going to bear with this until, Shay get everything straight. Then I'm going to get a new computer. Then we won't have to worry about this. All right. All right. Okay. So first thing first, we're going to talk about Diddy. So I told y'all last week that when he went to that hearing, they claimed he was looking way older. Okay, I mean, basically his age, if he didn't have any money, can take care of himself, he would probably be looking like that. Or if he just simply didn't care. So he came in there, he had a head full of gray hair. I thought they say he had gray facial hair as well. And he was just looking like a little thinner and everything. Okay, now you guys do know Diddy is around, 56, 57 years old. So pretty much, you would expect for him to have gray hair. He's just been dyeing it, so I don't know why they're making a big deal about it, because you can't really take care of yourself in prison like you would at home. You know what I'm saying? I mean, he probably tried to at first. You know how like when you first get somewhere, you try to keep yourself looking the same, but then eventually when you be there so damn long, you be like, oh, forget it. Who am I looking good for? So he probably started letting everything go. He probably just started getting frustrated and plus, how do they have dye in jail? I don't think they offer dye. So I mean, he could, I guess they make some type of gel dye that you can use to dye your hair. I don't know, but I think that's probably the last thing he he's worried about. He's probably more concerned about being in prison, for life. Okay, so I doubt he is concerned about his hair. So let's go ahead and get to that story real quick. Okay, so anyway, first thing first. Diddy's lawyers, y'all, claim he might not have been mentally capable to commit crimes. Now, this is almost laughable, okay? I mean, they are trying to do everything, all right? So let's go ahead and read this. Okay, hold on for a minute. Let me get that. Let's move all the stuff off my desk. Okay, so it says Sean Diddy's Combs lawyers are claiming the disgraced mogul might not have been mentally capable of committing the crimes he is accused of. Okay, Jermaine said, I agree. I don't think he was. Okay. So per documents obtained by People on Monday, April the 28th, prosecutors filed a motion on Sunday, April the 27th, to dispute any testimony that might show Diddy, 55, did not have the mental capacity to commit the crimes he has been charged with due to the effects of drugs and or alcohol. Okay. So yeah, prosecutors filed a motion on Sunday, the 27th, to dispute that this is true. All right. Like we already know, Diddy's trial is expected to begin in New York on Monday, May the 5th, which is what? That's next week, right? Is that next week? Yeah, that's next week. That's not right. Next week is not the 5th. Let's see. It is 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, that is next Monday. Now, the motion from the prosecution allegedly referenced testimony from a psychiatrist, Dr. Ellie Aoun, on the defense's behalf. Prosecutors requested that a judge prevent the psychiatrist's testimony from being included in Diddy's trial. Thanks, Jermaine. Now, the notice testimony relates to the defendant's diminished capacity to form the mens rea required to commit the charge offenses, in other words, a mental condition bearing on the issue of guilt, prosecutors wrote in their filing, according to the outlet. Per the Legal Information Institute, mens rea, which translates to guilty mind, refers to the mental state of the defendant. To convict someone, prosecutors must be able to prove a defendant not only committed the crime, but also had mens rea, meaning the prosecutors must prove beyond a reasonable doubt that the defendant committed the offense with a culpable state of mind. So I'm guessing that means with a sound mind. Okay, he was not crazy. Now, the prosecution's motion allegedly hinted at Aoun's testimony, which was redacted in the filing, suggested Diddy's mental capacity was impacted by the effects of drugs and alcohol. Now, in their objection to the judge's testimony, prosecutors wrote, if a defendant intends to introduce expert evidence relating to a mental disease or defect or any other mental condition of the defendant bearing on the issue of guilt, he must provide notice to the government. In September 2024, Diddy was indicted on charges of trafficking and racketeering after being arrested in New York City. According to the 14-page indictment obtained by U.S. Weekly, he allegedly abused, threatened, and coerced women, and others around him. The indictment claimed that some of the alleged incidents carried out to fulfill Diddy's sexual desires, protect his reputation, and conceal his conduct dates back to 2009. Of course, Diddy has denied all of the allegations against him. And as we do know, he is currently behind bars at the Metropolitan Detention Center in Brooklyn, New York, as he awaits trial, which begins on Monday, May the 5th. Okay. Renter Man, you said we got Diddy looking like Albert Einstein. Okay, y'all know what I'm trying to say. Y'all cannot talk tonight. Anyway, they said we are disappointed with the decision to pursue what we believe is an unjust prosecution of Mr. Combs by the U.S. Attorney's Office. And that's according to Diddy's lawyer, Mark Agnifilo. He told us in a statement in September 2024, Sean Diddy Combs is a music icon, self-made entrepreneur, loving family man, and proven I would say entrepreneur who has spent the last 30 years building an empire, adoring his children and working to uplift the Black community. He is an imperfect person, but he is not a criminal. And that's what his lawyer said. And somebody saying, y'all know that's a damn lie. A damn lie. How much he paying y'all? Okay, about him being mentally crazy or whatever the case is at that time, from the drugs, the alcohol, and he could not, even do any of these things that they are suggesting because he was too drunk, he was too high, or whatever the case is. But the thing is, I'm trying to figure out why they should have been saying this a long time ago. Okay, why would you bring this up now? It's like they're panicking and they're trying to use anything, and it's not a good look. You know what I'm saying? Because then it makes you think that somebody's lying. So I think this should have been used a long time ago. They should have said this a long time ago, that he was, high as hell. He was drunk as hell. He does not, remember doing anything illegally. And he just couldn't have done it because he was too intoxicated. He was too high. They should have said it a long time ago. Why say this now, like a week before the trial? It's not a good look. You say Diddy is an upstanding citizen. Okay. All right. That's what you think, Jermaine, with your crazy ass. Okay. You crazy as hell. Okay. So the thing is, guys, I just think it's a desperate move. I don't know what to say. All right. It's very, very risky. I mean, why would you bring this out now? His lawyers should have said this a long time ago. They should have said he was so damn high. He does not remember doing anything illegal. He was just too intoxicated. He was effed up. Look at all the drugs they claim that he was using and stuff. Inside the baby oil. He could have said he took that shit too. So he can, because he wanted to be in like an ecstasy. I don't know, or whatever. I mean, if you're gonna use this defense, I'm just saying I think they should have used it a long time ago. But I don't know. Maybe they're doing the right thing because I'm not a lawyer. Maybe they are doing the right thing. I'm pretty sure. I don't know. I just think they're desperate. I really do. Right. I think they're just acting get desperate. I think Sean is thinking he's getting ready to go to prison. He's probably putting pressure on his team, and they're probably just trying to pull out all the cards that they can possibly use to stop him from going to jail for life or for a long time. Even if he get some years, it's not going to be the same thing. It'll still be better than getting life or getting 30 or 40 years. So that's probably the reason why they are trying to use that. And like I said, the prosecutors did go back into the court to ask the judge to deny that, the claim, the defense they're trying to use. So I don't know if the judge is going to let them use that or not, but I guess they got to try everything, you guys. Playing is crazy and stuff. So So then Diddy's team argues he's a swinger, but not a criminal. All right. So let's see what they're talking about. So like we already know, he did turn down his plea deal. And they say he turned it down without hesitation. All right. So he wants to go to trial because he says that he is not guilty. So that's why he turned down the plea deal. And let me just say this again. I hope his team have information somewhere that show that he did not coerce or do anything illegal. Because I'm trying to figure out, if he knows that he's guilty, why is he fighting this so hard? Why would he be willing to not take? Why would he be willing to use the insanity defense? And why wouldn't he take a plea deal? Because remember, ASAP Rocky didn't take his plea deal either. And of course, he got, he was found innocent or whatever the case is. But in back then, I was saying, why would he do that? But he knew that he was not guilty. Okay, something I'm wondering if Diddy thinks that as well. Because if you know that you did something, and if you accept a plea deal, you would probably get a lesser sentence. Why wouldn't you accept it? So that makes me think maybe he isn't. Maybe he didn't do all of these things. I don't know. He said Diddy hasn't won or had one request granted by the court. Well, he did. The one with the one that I told you guys about 2 weeks ago. There was 2 things that he won. That's it, but nothing major. Right? Of course not. But what I'm saying is that ASAP knew that he was innocent, so that's why he didn't take a plea deal. And if Diddy knows that he actually did something, why wouldn't he take the plea deal? Okay, that's crazy. Now his defense, his attorneys, Diddy's attorneys, they are saying Diddy may be a swinger, but he is by no means a criminal. Okay. And they said that he thought that his lifestyle was appropriate because it was common. So, and then prosecutors said some of Diddy's alleged actions go far beyond the boundaries of consensual relationships. Like I said, if they still talking about Cassie's video, which they are going to be using that in court the week after, because next week I think is jury selection. Okay, and then I think on the 7th, if I'm not mistaken, right, Jermaine? That's when the actual trial starts. They are going to use the Cassie's video. And I don't know why that was released, even though he paid the money. If she did that, that was a straight up F move, F up move. Because if somebody gave you allegedly $30 million, you should have made sure nothing was leaked. You know what I'm saying? That's crazy. So that's definitely going to be there. Okay. So, I mean, I don't know what to say about Diddy. I just really don't. I mean, I don't know how this is going to go. I don't know, you guys. It can go either way. I doubt he's going to be found innocent unless his team have some very great information, facts, proof that he is innocent. Okay, that he did not coerce anybody, he did not rape anybody, he did not do no ex trafficking or anything. So I don't know though. I really don't. And I remember Jermaine saying that it could be possibly a mistrial or something like that. That could be possible if they can prove that all these tapes and stuff that was released, this tape that was released, all these civil lawsuits and everything else that was put out there. If this team can prove that all of this plays a huge role in how the jury people will say guilty or non-guilty, then maybe they can get it thrown out like that. But they're probably going to say, these people don't know who Sean Combs is, or they have not been watching anything related to Sean Combs. I don't understand how they wouldn't know who he is, though. But, once you get chose, I still don't understand that, because when you get chose for the jury, right, you don't know you're going on jury duty. So how can you not be watching things? All right. Because they called me like already, let's see, about 3 or 4 times. And they called my daughter, and she actually went through the process for real. I was on standby, and both of my daughters was called in, and they told them, they took them, you be in a room, and then they ask you a bunch of questions. And if you get those questions, if you answer those questions the correct way, then you're probably going to be on the in the jury. But if you don't, then they dismiss you and stuff. So you can purposely answer them crazy so they won't choose you. You get out of it. But for the most part, they ask questions. So I'm just trying to figure out who. I just don't understand how no one even heard of Diddy. Even if you don't watch him, you're not a fan of his, he is all over the news, especially when everything just happened. When it first happened, and this started way back in November 2023, because I was covering it when it first started. And I just don't understand how they got a jury of people, and these people don't know anything about Diddy, haven't seen his videos or anything. I don't know. So if it's some way that his team approved that the videos and all that affects how the jury will determine if he's guilty or non-guilty, then they may be able to, use it and possibly, get him free. But I don't know. It's a stretch. I don't believe that will happen, but I'm just saying. So what do you think is going to happen, Jermaine? Okay, since you know, what do you think? Just put it in the chat. And then here they said, did he argue that he had mental condition that caused him to commit alleged crimes? Okay, so what mental condition is that? Let's see. Okay, so he already did. So they said Diddy is trying to recruit a doctor from Columbia University to testify on his behalf. And I guess it's that doctor that I just told you guys about. But his prosecutors don't really want to hear it. Okay, so yeah, we just talked about this. Yeah, so again, we're gonna see if the judge will okay this. I hope the judge does, because I want to see exactly what he's going to, what his team is going to, do, what they're going to present to the jury, to the judge, and all that. I really do. But the thing about it said this medical profession has no past appointments with Diddy. So they said overall he will be trying to use other patients as evidence. The thing about it, so you think it's going to be a mistrial. The thing about it, that's why I said Diddy's team should have used this from the beginning, and then they could have made him appointments to go, get a evaluation, and then maybe the evaluation would have showed that he has some things going on mentally, especially if he would answer questions in a certain type of way, and then he could have got treatment, and that probably would look better than them doing it now. But like I said, I'm not a lawyer. I don't know. I'm sure they know what they're doing. Period. So let's see here. Let's see what else they got here. So yeah, let's see what some of these people are saying in this comment section. So somebody said he still did it, so he's guilty. And then Robert said, like Trump, just ask for immunity. Pull a Donnie Trump. Okay. And somebody else said, nobody is as bad as the dictator DT. So somebody else said he went from claiming innocence to saying he was guilty by reason of insanity. I guess all that tainted baby or seep into what little brain he has. He could have pleaded temporary insanity if he was drunk as hell and high as hell, especially if he was taking other things. But I still say, I'm just thinking they should have did this a long time ago. But, I don't know. I think that his team is trying to use whatever they can to get this dude either number one, a mistrial. If that's not possible, lesser years in prison. I really do. Yeah, and that's another thing too. Where are all the other people? This is the most weirdest indictment case that I have ever seen in my life. Where did he do all of these freak offs by himself? They said that people, his employees and people there assisted him. So why aren't these people up for charges? Unless they may be there to testify against him. This is crazy. So people are like, oh no, this person said more like demon possession. I'm gonna tell you something. He can't use that as a defense, but the insanity, temporary insanity, he could. You know what I'm saying? But basically, I agree with Lori when she said that because they be looking crazy when they be on them drugs like that. I'm gonna be perfectly honest. Somebody said that is a disgusting. Excuse me. That is a different, disgusting way of saying the devil made me do it. And then somebody said the devil does have more control over you when you are high and drunk. It opens the mind up for his influences. My thoughts on it, though, are that if I make the choice to do drugs or drink alcohol, then I should understand that they are mind altering vices. It clearly does affect behavior, but does not stop one from being held accountable for their actions. Okay, it does not prevent one from being held accountable for their actions. But in some cases, it might. If you had a mental situation going on that the drugs created, you just never know. Since we're not lawyers, we don't know how they are going to rig all of this up. We just don't know. But it's going to be a trip, I tell you that. Okay, now let me see what else I got from Diddy over here. Damn, a Black Panther? Those are some beautiful creatures, though. I'm not going to lie. If I could, I would have one as a pet if I could. They are so pretty. I like them because they are dangerous. They look like they'll tear somebody up. Okay, but I wouldn't be around it. It'd be in a cage or something. Like if I was like filthy rich, like and I could do that, I would have like a big old yard with tog so you can get out, but it would be enough space so he can run around. Those are some beautiful creatures, though. They really are. I seen one in person at that zoo I went to a couple of months ago. He is so beautiful. So let's see what else we got here. To be so damn dangerous. You know what I'm saying? So I think that's okay. Let's see what else I got for Diddy. Let's make sure. Do I have anything else for Diddy here? Hold on. I think that's it that I got for him. So we are going to be. We're going to be waiting for that trial. I'm going to tell you that straight up. And I hope. I don't know. I just don't know, guys. I don't know what's going to happen with this trial. I don't know if it's going to be a mistrial or he will be spending the rest of his life incarcerated. I don't know if they're going to find him not guilty, because again, it's based on what they have to prove that he's innocent. Okay. Right. Not all of them. All of them could not be testifying against him. Right. So maybe we'll get a surprise. Maybe they'll be there. I don't know. This is a weird ass case. And honestly, it seems like they more concerned about Cassie getting beat up than anything. I didn't even think they could still be using all that stuff like this. I thought the case was about ex trafficking and all the other stuff with all these people that are talking, the people that are in the videos and stuff. I didn't know they would be going back, using Cassie's video as well. I don't know. People will be mad, but I don't know for sure. But since he'll be out and he can pull some strings, a lot of people better be quiet. You know what I'm saying? Let's see. I don't think they're gonna be, admiring all of this stuff and things like that. But I think some people will be mad, especially some racist people. They will be upset. For the most part, then I think, some people they'll probably say something for the first couple weeks, maybe a month or two. And then after that, everything will just DIE down. You know what I'm saying? And some people they will be happy because they, will probably be like, black people always go to jail. If white people do this type of stuff, they get off. So some people will be happy just because of that. You say you think they will lose their minds? Probably so. But they can't. They won't be able to touch him because this dude probably got so much security and all that money. People think he's broke. He's a long way from being broke. He has too much money to be broke, and everything. He can spend some millions and still be rich. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, I don't see it. But if he does get off or get off by mistrial or whatever, I really feel like he should move somewhere else, maybe to another country, and just basically stay on the low like the Beretta guy did, But if he's convicted, he goes to prison for a lot of years or life, that's going to be messed up. You see, guys, this is why I tell you guys, you have to think about your actions before you actually commit them. Because you don't want to, spend your life inside of a damn cell, yard, or whatever they call it. What do you call that place, the open space they be in? You don't want to spend your life doing that. Yeah, his career is definitely going to be over. But you know what, honestly, with all that money he made and stuff and got, he can retire and he'll be good, and he can still probably put out music because somebody's going to buy it, but he could just basically retire and move somewhere else where no one will basically pay attention to him. You know what I'm saying? And just retire. But like I said, it's going to be, fascinating to see what is going to happen in this trial and how long will it last. And you guys know I'm going to cover it. Okay, so let's look at some of these little videos that people are talking about this at. Let me turn this music down and we're going to watch maybe one or two of those videos real quick. Y'all don't forget to thumbs up this video, okay? Subscribe, hit the bell notification, share, and leave a comment. And thank you guys so much. So let's go ahead and do this. Present, share screen.
Diddy is pretty much admitting to his crimes because he's going to be pleading insanity while at trial, saying that he was not coherent enough to really understand what he was doing, that he was too high on drugs, that he did not know what he was doing was bad. Diddy's team found some shady professor from Columbia University who's willing to go and testify and say that Diddy was on so many drugs that he was pretty much incapacitated. They are acknowledging that Diddy provided these substances at his freak-offs, but they're saying now the defense appears to be arguing that Diddy himself may have been altered in an impaired state obviously, when these incidents occurred, raising the question on whether he could form intent necessary for this to be a crime, which sounds like BS to me. Like, oh yeah, Diddy was too effed up that he couldn't even realize what he was doing was illegal. Prosecutors are not buying this response. They don't care if Diddy was lucid at the time of the crime. That's his responsibility. He was the one taking these drugs. So they're not going to be backing down on him at all. But I do think it's insane that they would go and try to plead insanity because, in my opinion, it kind of like acknowledges what had been done. And it's instead of like acting like it never happened, it's like, oh yes, it did happen, but our client is insane, so don't charge him. You know what I mean? It's like kind of admitting that you did everything that you were being accused of. But follow me more for Diddy updates, and let's get into it. Diddy is pretty much admitting to his crimes because he's going to be pleading insanity while at
And the
trial,
thing about
saying,
it too, though, like I said before, if you're gonna plead insanity, oh my tongue, why wouldn't you do this from the start? Why would you do it all of a sudden? And again, since his team is trying to do this, okay, it's gonna make people think that you are lying. So then they're gonna say you're a liar. You see what I'm saying? So I mean, because again, if he would have did this from the beginning, instead of saying he did not do anything, just say use the insanity thing, it would have looked better. Why would you bring that out now? You know what I'm saying? You should have did that a long time ago. That's weird to me. Because not only are you looking guilty, like Jermaine said, and this dude just said, you're also they're looking at you now as a straight up liar. Because this is something you should have already said. Why would you wait to now to say all of this if you guys can hear me? Because I had to go get my pajamas. Why would you wait until now to say this? Like at the last minute, it's like a couple of days before the trial, and it's like you guys are panicking, and you just looked at a bunch of things that you could do to try to get out of this, and this is the one thing that you can do. And I'm pretty sure he must have been putting pressure on his lawyers, so they probably scrambling all around trying to figure out what to use to get this dude off. This is crazy. Like I said, he should have used this from the start. From the start, you don't plead insanity and use it damn near what? He got arrested in 2024, right? Or was it 2023 when he went to jail? 2024. You damn near wait what 6-7 months later to start saying that you were temporarily insane because of the drugs and alcohol. That's crazy, you guys. Let's go back over and see what else we can pull up. That is crazy, and I'm shocked that his team used that. It's weird. It's very weird. Let's see. And again, where's all the other people? Okay. All the other people who are doing these things with him, where are these people at? That's crazy. Let's see what else they're talking about that. Let's see. What are they talking about right here? Oh no, we don't need to see that. These people are crazy as hell. Hold on, let's see. Let's see what else they got on here. So this is what he was looking like in that movie. So he's basically looking like this now. So let's see. I know she's getting ready to repeat the same thing. But let's see what this lady is saying, okay?
Hey everyone, so I would be remiss if I didn't mention two major updates in the Diddy trial scheduled for May. So, big news about the Diddy case. He just rejected a plea deal, but here's the twist. That of him beating Cassie has just been missed, and so once it's off limits, it's getting pulled into court. Let's talk about why this is a game changer. Well, here's the scoop. So Diddy was offered a plea deal but rejected it. So that means that the video was once considered off limits and now it's fair game for prosecution. What does that mean for the case? Well, rejecting a plea deal can lead to serious consequences. One being that now you have to go to trial, and if the prosecution has really good evidence, you could be screwed. And so, this crucial evidence that maybe his defense expected wasn't going to be admissible because of the quote prejudicial value of it, is actually admissible. So I guess Diddy's defense didn't have a strong enough case about the prejudice of that video of him beating his former girlfriend, Cassie Ventura, that was released by CNN and caused quite a social court to go crazy, so to speak. So in Diddy's case, the video is now admissible. And if you're wondering what does that mean, here's why. Once the plea deal's turned down, everything's off the table. And so the stakes are even higher now. They as in the defense, are going to have a crazy time trying to basically minimize the effect of that video. And we're going to see what happens at trial. So Diddy could possibly face harsher consequences on different kinds of negotiation. But one thing's for sure is that this video could make all the difference. One thing in particular I wanted to mention that makes it even worse is once that video is in there, like, how are they going to defend it? Because then after that video was released, Diddy went to social media and he apologized, quote, apologized, saying that his acts, he was disgusted by the video then, and he's disgusted by it now, and that he apologized and that he's taking measures to right his wrong, so to speak. Not sure what that meant, but once he did that, the social media court basically went crazy and they were like, nobody's buying this. So it's quite possible that the jurors will be prejudiced, but I don't think that it's because of this video. I mean, the allegations are pretty serious here. Sex trafficking, SA, all the 14 or 15 lawsuits that followed. I mean, his defense is going to have a really hard time, which is why I think Diddy showed up to court with a full head of grays. I mean, aside from the fact that hair dye is not allowed in Brooklyn's finest, aka the prison, finest accommodations. So he looks pretty stressed, but it looks like we're going to see what's going to happen. May 5th is jury selection, and opening statements are scheduled for May 12th. So I and everybody else is probably anticipating this much anticipated case to see what the outcome is going to be. I mean, everybody knows Diddy. He's been around in entertainment for decades. And so this is a high profile case. It's going to be in New York, downtown. So I don't know. I don't know if I'm going to go over there, but I do want to follow this closely. And I have been since the lawsuits have come out. So stay tuned for more updates. So let me know what you guys think about the judge ruling that this video is admissible. Do you really think it's going to prejudice Diddy, or do you think that he was screwed from the get-go? Or what do you guys think? I want to know. Hey, everyone. So I would be remiss.
Okay, so she just really explained everything to us, okay? And again, for the life of me, I don't know. I just think they don't have anything else, and they just push, for whatever they can get. You know what I'm saying? And I don't understand why he didn't take the plea deal if he knows that he did something. It's just kind of weird, Now, if he is innocent, then I just hope they have, all of the information to support that. Otherwise, I don't know what's going to happen. And we will find out what's going to happen, I guess, in about 2 weeks or so. Well, Jermaine, they always offer plea deals, okay? And I don't think they offer you, well, then again, they may not have as much as, we think. Okay, so that could be a reason why they offered the plea deal. But sometimes they offer those plea deals because I think basically it's just something that they normally do. Let's look up Why would they offer a plea deal in a high-profile case? Hold on, let's see. And maybe another reason too, because they might have said they would some charges they won't, go at him with, if he accept the plea deal. So let's see. Hold on, let me look this up real quick. Hold on, y'all. Let me mute y'all 1 second. Hold on. So right here they said, hold on. They said prosecutors offer plea deals, also known as plea bargains, to streamline the criminal justice process, to save resources, and achieve convictions efficiently. This practice helps manage a high volume of cases and allows prosecutors to focus on more complex or public interest cases. So that's another thing. Let's see why else they do it. So it's a guaranteed conviction, okay? It reduces trial burdens, okay? It speeds everything up, and they said sometimes prosecutors may offer plea deals to secure a defendant's cooperation and get them to testify against others. I think I said that in there somewhere. Hey, Kim B, what's up, what's up, what's up? Also, if they have a weak case. So let's just hope their case is weak, and let's hope that the prosecutors don't have all of this type of information like they're trying to make us think. Maybe those videos don't show him coercing anyone and raping. I don't know. And sometimes they offer it to avoid unfavorable outcomes because of a public image. And they also offer plea deals to low-level offenders and the other stuff that I just said. So it's a lot of reasons why prosecutors will make a plea deal, either a plea bargain. So you said, let's be real. If they had Diddy cornered, they would not be negotiating. So who's scared of losing here, Diddy or the prosecutor? You may be right, Jermaine. But Diddy looks like he's scared too, Jermaine. Because but then again, you really can't say 100% because another reason why his attorneys are using the insanity plea is because everything else they try to do, the judge denied it. Okay, so I guess he was running out of things to do. So that's crazy. They say usually the prosecutor and the defense attorney, they will sit down and talk about it and negotiate a plea deal, okay? But they have to come back to the person, the defendant, so he or she can agree on it. Because if he does not or she does not agree to a plea deal, then you're not going to be using it. But both the prosecutor and the defense attorney, they have to negotiate and agree upon the appropriate resolution of a criminal case. That's a trip. Okay, so I think that's it with Sean Diddy Combs. Because we already found out why his hair is looking like that, which I already guessed that already. So that's it. And if I get any more updates on him, I will let you guys know. All right. So now, guys, let's go ahead and go straight into, let me take your thing down, Jeffrey Epstein's list. Okay. Let's go into that. Let's take this down right here. And I hope this is the full one because they claim it is. So we're going to see. Yeah, Diddy's trial is, I mean, it's going to be, a lot of people are going to be covering it. A lot of people. So it's going to be a trip. I may have spelled Jeffrey that wrong, but it doesn't matter. Okay. Yeah, that trial is going to be a trip. So let me go to the list real quick. And I know you guys heard about Bishop T.D. Jakes. He stepped down and he let his daughter and her husband take over the role of lead pastor. So let's see what that's at. Hold on, you guys. Hold on for a second. Let me find it. Here it is right here now. Let's see if they actually have a full list or if they are lying. So let's see here. It said the Epstein list, full list of names revealed in unsealed court documents or court records, which are documents. Okay. Yep. Right. That is, you know what? You're right. Why would they offer him a plea deal? Because they just want him to be incarcerated. So if he would have signed that, agreed to it and everything, he just would have messed himself up, because we don't know exactly what the prosecutors got. Clearly it may not be what we think it is. Okay, like I said before, it could be not even showing him coercing anyone, or he could have just done a couple of people. So they're trying to get him for a lot of years. So I don't know. Anyway, guys, as I was saying, Prince Andrew and Bill Clinton were among more than 100 people named in legal documents linked to the PEDO, Jeffrey Epstein. Okay. So they said the disclosure of the court files included the names of victims, friends, and associates of Jeffrey. Now, they did claim that other people that's on the list, they have no direct link to Epstein. So let's see. Let me just tell y'all some of these names. Again, remember this. Some of these names, some of these people, they were not necessarily connected to him. Okay. They could have went to another party or whatever the case is, or talked to him on the phone or whatever. Okay. So everybody on this list is not guilty of doing weird stuff. So of course they have, what's this lady's name? Ghislaine. How do you say? I can't remember. I don't know how you pronounce her name. Ghislaine, I guess, Maxwell. Okay. That's Jeffrey's ex-girlfriend. All right. And she was convicted in 2021 of ex-trafficking in connection to Epstein's activities. Then you got Prince Andrew, Bill Clinton, Donald Trump, Hillary Clinton, David Copperfield, John Connolly, Alan Dershowitz, Leonardo DiCaprio, Al Gore, Richard Branson, Stephen Hawking, Hud Barak, Michael Jackson, Marvin Minsky, Kevin Spacey, George Lucas, Jean-Luc Brunel, Kate Blanchett, Naomi Campbell, Heidi Klum, Sharon Churcher, Bruce Willis, Bianca Jagger, Bill Richardson, Cameron Diaz, Glenn Dubin, Eva Anderson Dubin, Naomi Chomsky, Tom Prisker, Chris Tucker, Sarah Ferguson, Robert F. Kennedy Jr., James Michael Ostrich, Juan and Marie Lacey, Jan Yusik, I don't even know how you pronounce this, Van Syke, okay, Bella Klein, Leslie Groff or Leslie, Victoria Bean, Rebecca Boylan, Dana Burns, Robert Eppinger, Daniel Estes, Annie Farmer, Maria Farmer, all these names, Anuska De Giorgio, Louis Fritsch or Free, Frederick BK, I guess, Alexandra BK, Jojo Fontanilla, I don't even know how you pronounce this. Fontanilla, I can't pronounce it, y'all. Fontanella. Fontanelli. Fontanelli, okay. Jojo Fontanelli. Doug Band, Virginia Guthrie, I guess that's how you pronounce that. Lynn Miller, Christopher, excuse me, not Christopher, it's Crystal, Figueroa. And then Anthony, Figueroa. And then Eric Ganny, Meg Garvin, Sheridan Gibson Boot, Butt, Ross Cow, Fred Jeff, Robert Jeffrey, Philip Guderyon. These are a lot of people, you guys. Alexandra Hall, Joanne Harrison, Shannon Harrison, Victoria Hazel, Brittany Henderson, Brett Jaffe, Forrest Jones, Sarah Kellen, Adriana Ross, Carol Kress, Dr. Stephen Olson, Stephen Kaufman, Wendy Lee, Peter Listerman, Tom Lyons, Nadia Markinkova, Bob Meister or Mr., Jamie Melanson, Donald Morrell, David Mullen, David Noor, Joe Pangano, May Paluga, Stanley Pottinger. These are some damn names, you guys. Detective Joe Recary, Chief Michael Retter, Renato and Deborah Rizzo, Sky Roberts, Kimberly Roberts, Lynn Roberts, Haley Robinson or Robson, David Rogers, Alfredo Rodriguez, Scott Robinson, Forrest Sawyer, Doug Schoetle, Joanna Joberg. Damn. Cecilia Stein, Marion Strong, Mark Taforia, Emmy Taylor, Brent Tyndall, Kevin Thompson. There you go, that's your brother, Jermaine. Ed Turtle, Les Wexner, Abigail Wexner, Crescenda Bowles, Emma Bagan, Anthony Balladares, Christina Venero, Marisa Bancrest, Vicky Ward, Jared Westonfield, Sharon White, Courtney Wild, Daniel Wilson, Mark Zeff, Kelly Spam, Alexandra Dixon, again, Alfredo Rodriguez, Ricardo, Legorreta, Legorreta, I guess that's how you pronounce that. Dr. Chris Donahue, Dr. Wawa, Judith Lightfoot, Dr. Karen Kutikoff, Dr. Carol Hayek, Dr. John Harris, Dr. Deshani, Majaliana, Dr. John Harris, Dr. Mona Devashan, Dr. Scott Robert Geiger, Dr. Michelle Streeter, Donna Oliver. Okay, so again, some of these people are just people who treated him. Some of these people are some of the accusers, and some of these people had some type of association with him. And I'm guessing some of these people did some other things. I'm not sure. Okay, so that's a lot of people. It's not all of them, but it's a lot of people that I just called off. So they did say being named in these documents does not indicate any wrongdoing related to Jeffrey Epstein or anyone else. Okay, and like I said, that list has people who accused him and some alleged victims, as well as people with only a little connection to Epstein who were pulled into this lawsuit against Maxwell. And then some of them probably are guilty that's on this list. All right, let's keep it real. You know, they're going to try to hide stuff. No, Trump name wasn't. They keep on saying they hid his name. I did say Donald Trump. These people don't read. Didn't I say there it is right there? It said Donald Trump, Bill Clinton, Prince Andrew, Hillary Clinton, and David Copperfield, John Connolly, and all those people were together. And Ghislaine, however you pronounce her name, Maxwell, her name is up there with theirs. So his name is on here, but that doesn't mean that he was doing anything illegal. Okay, it could simply just mean they talked on the phone or, you know, just linked up together and didn't do anything weird. Okay, so I know one damn thing, it's a lot of people. They said over 100 names, and I did not call out 100 people. And clearly these people don't read because Donald Trump's name is there, and they are saying that they hid his name. His name is right there. Somebody said, just for the record, we all know that Jeffrey did not unalive himself. They said he was murdered and they got away with it. And they know who they are. This is Kelly O'Dell, okay, who stated that. They claim that Hillary, who ordered a staged murder and did a double body of him to make it look like he unalived himself. But actually, they had him taken away safely and still alive. Epstein's brother did not do any autopsy on him and just cremated away all the evidence. That was a body double of another person. We will see the truth soon. So I don't know. I don't know, guys. But the thing is that we probably won't ever know. Okay, we probably won't ever know. Let's see what these people are saying about that real quick, and we have to hurry up. This time goes so daggone quick, you guys, man. So let's see here what they're saying about this right here. Let's see. And so she passed. That's one of the girls on the list. Let's see. This is one. Let's listen to this one. That's one of the survivors, I believe, right? Let's see if that's the same girl.
Of the death of Virginia Giuffre. She was the public face of the sex trafficking allegations against Jeffrey
Yeah,
Epstein.
that's her.
In an interview with Gail in 2020, she said Britain's Prince Andrew was among the men who sexually assaulted her. In a statement, Jeffrey's families died by suicide.
But she was also a mother of three and an advocate for victims. In a statement, her family called her a fierce warrior.
Virginia Jeffrey was a teenager when she first met Jeffrey Epstein, but she grew into a woman who had exposed his crime.
And I won't stop fighting. I will never be silenced until these people are brought to justice.
Dini von Muffling was her publicist and friend, told us Jeffrey's marriage had recently broken down and she was in pain from a car crash last month.
As you know, physical pain can cause depression and the body keeps score.
Jeffrey was just 16 when she claimed she was recruited by Epstein's associate, Ghislaine Maxwell. She told Gayle King in 2020 that she was not only sexually abused by Epstein, but trafficked to his wealthy and powerful friends for sex, including Prince Andrew, the brother of the British King.
He needs to be held accountable. We need to show the world that the rich and the mighty can fall too.
Prince Andrew has consistently denied Jeffrey's allegations.
I have no recollection of ever meeting this lady. None whatsoever.
The prince later settled a lawsuit brought by Jeffrey for an undisclosed sum of money, but without admitting any wrongdoing. Epstein committed suicide in a New York prison in 2019. Maxwell is serving 20 years for sex trafficking and other crimes. Virginia Jeffrey settled lawsuits with both of them.
The mental toll of these lawsuits it was enormous. I mean, you have to remember that in spite of the victories over the last few years, the toll of that was just immense and exhausting.
And do you think that contributed directly to her suicide?
It didn't help.
Virginia Jeffrey did not want to be seen as a victim, according to von Muffling, and would have liked to be remembered as someone who stood up for the voiceless.
Of the death of Virginia Jeffrey. Okay. She was the public face of the...
So we just saw that. Let me go back and look at some. That's sad. So let's look at this real quick.
On August 10th of 2019, Epstein is reported to have committed in his New York City federal jail cell. The next available image is a month later, in September of 2019, and shows that the area on the mound is being used as a parking lot for commercial vehicles. The area is cleared by 2020 and has remained so until today. In a recent video, corporate media propagandist Megyn Kelly claims that we may be hearing from Jeffrey Epstein himself this year.
We're not done with Jeffrey Epstein. I can tell you that for a fact. Can't tell you how I know, but I can tell you for a fact we're going to hear a lot more about Jeffrey Epstein in the coming year, and you may be even hearing from him directly. More on that as I'm allowed to tell you.
This will make you sick.
On August 10th of 2019, Epstein is reported to have committed in his New York City.
So, I mean, they didn't really tell us anything about it. Do y'all believe she committed the S word? Or do y'all think somebody did that? You know, because if she knows that other people of high status was involved in all this stuff, somebody could have made it look like that to silence her. And they can definitely cover it up to the fullest. Just like I don't believe Jeffrey committed the S word either. I just don't. I believe that they did that to him, you know, so he wouldn't start revealing the people who were there, engaging in everything as well. Well, I mean, her friend don't know if somebody actually, did it, set everything up. So of course her friend would say she did unalive herself. And of course everybody would automatically think it was because of her problems or pending, maybe they was going to get divorced or whatever. It's easy to use that as an excuse, And that's the reason why they actually probably did it the way they did it. They probably saw that she was sad about whatever was going on in her relationship, and then figured the best way to take her out is the S thing, because you know you could easily say that she was depressed because of the situation, and they won't really look into it. So I don't know. I mean, Kim said you just never know. I'm not no conspiracy person, but you just never know. You're right. So anything is possible. You just never know, you know, if anybody had anything to do with this or if she unalived herself, point blank. And again, I still think that Jeffrey, I believe they did that. I don't believe he unalived himself. I believe they got rid of him because they knew he was going to start revealing some very top names, period. But yeah, that was the list. And like I said, a lot of those people on there were just on there because they dealt with him as far as medical reasons or consultations. Some people just talked to him on the phone or may have linked up with him, but not for, you know, the legal stuff. Okay. And then some people on the list probably was there doing the most. Point blank. All right. So we're going to move on from Jeffrey and we are going to talk about Shannon Sharpe. All right. Let's see how much time we got. We're doing good with the time. It's going to be Shannon. So with Shannon, guys, let's see. It wasn't really too much going on with him, but the same old stuff, basically. Let's see. So they did roast him for apparently just screenshotting a text message from his team with his statements on stepping away from ESPN. So I guess everybody thought that was funny, and so they roasted him because of that, which is crazy. Let's see here, what else we got? Anyway, Boosie sounds off on Shannon Sharpe lawsuit. Let's see what he's talking about. Wait, these people are crazy as hell. Let's see. So they said Boosie has stirred the pot with his reaction to the recent lawsuits against Shannon Sharpe, aka after news broke of a $50 million suit following Shannon's massive podcast deal. Anyway, they said Boosie did not hold back. He hinted at the risk of fame and fortune. He even questioned the timing of the accusations. Is Boosie onto something, or is this just another case of social media speculation? Okay. And let's see what else we got. So Shaq claps back at Barnes over Shannon Sharpe rumors. So let's see here. What did he say? So anyway, that response that you guys been hearing, I don't know if you guys saw that. The clap back from Shaq at Barnes over the Sharpe rumors. Anyway, that was AI. Okay, it was AI doctor. All right, it was not real. So that AI comment or whatever video audio clip, they said that is AI doctor. The one that they said that Matt Barnes claimed Shaq was digging for dirt on Shannon Sharpe. Okay, so they said that was AI. That is not true. All right, that he was not doing that. Okay, let's see what else we got. Good for Terrence Howard, you guys. And let's see what else we got here. Shannon Sharpe. Like I said, it's not too much updates on him. It's just the same stuff. Talking about the lawsuit and what could possibly happen. And he's getting ready, to go through legal battles with these, lawsuits. These two. Yeah, I think that's it with Shannon. I thought I had one more story regarding him. Let me see. I think so. Let me just make sure, guys. Hold on. Damn, did I put that far down? Yeah, I think that's it. I don't have that much for Shannon just right now. Let me make sure I got everything. Yeah, I think that's it for him. So, like I said, the update with Boosie sounding off on Shannon Sharpe lawsuit. And then Shaq tapping back at Barnes over Sharpe rumors. They said that is not true. That was AI generated. What else? And I think that's it. Yes, I think that's it. So, what do you guys think about that? Do you guys think he's going to lose those lawsuits and he's going to be paying out that $50 million? I think it just depends on everything the girl got. I don't see her getting $50 million, though. I don't know. I don't see that being possible. But again, anything is possible, and we just don't know. But I will definitely keep you guys updated on Shannon Sharpe. All right? All right. Let's see. Oh, wait a minute. Let me see something. I got one thing on Shannon. Hold on. Let me see if I can find it real quick. Shannon Sharpe. Let's see what I do with this. Hold on, y'all. Let me just look for this real quick. Make sure. Let me see what they got in here. Because I'm pretty sure they're just going over what I just said. And I want to play this little video for y'all too. So let me hurry up so I can be able to do this. Hold on, let's see, Shannon. So we already went over this right here, explaining that $10 million stuff. It's legal. I thought I had saved this other legal battle stuff. I don't know what happened to it. Let's see. Let me just look one more time, you guys. Because I don't know what I did with it. Okay, so I don't know what happened to that. Let me see if I can type it in Google real quick. But sometimes I'll be getting information when I stop at the light. Let's see if they'll come back up with this article real quick, you guys. Yeah, let's see. I can't find that article that I had earlier, but if I do find it, I'll go with you guys tomorrow. But it's basically just going to go over everything he's about to experience with these two lawsuits, okay? And we pretty much already went over all that and stuff, and I don't see any updated information. So other than what I just told you. So like I said, when I get, you say he ain't got 50 million. So like I said, when I do get more information, I'm gonna tell you guys. But as of right now, I don't see any additional information other than what I just told you. And just people, going back over this stuff over and over again. Okay? All right. So how much does he have? What is his net worth? Let's see. What is Shannon Sharpe's net worth? Oh, his net worth is only 30 million. I guess this crazy girl is suing for 50 million because she's thinking about that $100 million contract thing. But what she should have done, she should have went on and let him got paid, and then you take him to court. She did it too soon. Now he may not even be doing that, signing that contract. So therefore, that means he won't get that money. She did that wrong. She should have waited. But anyway, we'll finish talking, about him as I get more information. So let's go ahead and move on. All right, I'm gonna give you guys some little breaking news real quick, and then we are out of here. You said exactly, Jermaine. It's so true. I know one thing. I don't feel like she should be getting 50 million if he had 50 million. Maybe $1 million or something like that, but not no. This is too much. $50 million for what? For what? But then again, like I tell you guys, you have to watch who you date. If you got her with money, she's gonna always want money. You can always remember that. If you bribed her and you paid her for X, that's what she's gonna expect. Okay. And if she has to take you to court, she's gonna take you to court and get a lot of money. All right. But anyway, let me go ahead and give you guys some of these breaking news articles. So check this out. Terrence Howard says he turned down the Marvin Gaye biopic because he did not want to kiss a man. He said, "I would cut my lips off." So are they trying to say that Marvin Gaye was bi? Let's see here. So he said that okay, hold on. So he was going to play Marvin Gaye until he found out about Marvin Gaye's sexuality from another music great, Quincy Jones. He said, "I was over at Quincy Jones' house and I'm asking Quincy, I'm hearing rumors that Marvin was G-A-Y. And I'm like, was he G-A-Y? And then Quincy said, yes. Why do they say G-A-Y? Wasn't he bi? Because he liked women too. So anyway, Terrence said after that revelation, he could not start in that movie because he said he was not kissing no man. And I honestly don't blame him, okay? You said, I have heard he was, but that was before my time. Yeah. I don't know much about Marvin Gaye like that, okay? Because my mom used to like Marvin Gaye music and stuff. But, I still heard some rumors, but I don't know like too much about it, But I'm pretty sure you can just Google it and you can see all of it. So Terrence Howard said he turned the road down once he found out that Marvin Gaye was allegedly G-A-Y. Okay. So of course people attack him because he is against that. I don't know why people do that. You can't make people like what you do in the bedroom, okay? The only thing you can ask people to do is respect your choices. But the thing about it, I don't understand why a lot of GAY people have to announce certain things. I mean, are we announcing what we do in the bedroom? We don't care. You know what I'm saying? I don't care if you are bi or, full GAY. I don't care. So we don't need to find out or know about what you do or when you came out and things like that. Point blank. Hey, Nate, thank you so much for tuning in. Nate, the Great Podcast. We got Nate in the house, Jermaine in the house, Film in the house. Who else? We got Rent a Man in the house. He was in the house, whoever that is. Rent a Man. Y'all want to rent a man? Maybe he wants you guys to rent him. All right. So thank you guys for being here in this chat. All right. I appreciate you guys. And we got people in the bushes. What's up, people in the bushes? Come on out those bushes. All right. But thank you guys so much for tuning in, people in the bushes. All right. So, did y'all know that Scott Peterson got his ass whipped in prison? They said he got his ass beat. All right. And they said that's why I don't know why people glorify prison, because they said sometimes some of those inmates are so damn rough and brutal that the guards be scared of them. Okay. So that's why I don't believe it when people say, oh, nobody never raped me because I did certain favors for them, because I figure like this, they may offer you a little protection because you do favors for them, but still, when some of them men, want you and they get excited, shit, I still believe that if they ain't raping you, they may make you do the other thing. You know what I'm talking about? The oral thing. So it's just like, from all the videos I have watched from people who was in prison and they do like little videos on YouTube or whatever the case is, they talk about people, men getting raped in prison. Okay. So I don't believe people when they say, oh, they don't be doing much of that. Y'all a damn lie. They be getting on in those prisons. And they beat the smack out of Peterson. I don't know if they did anything else to him, but I know they beat the shit out of him. All right. This dude said you are locked up with guys that have 6 consecutive life sentences. They don't care. They don't have anything. They are miserable. They waking up with nothing to live for. So if you bump into him and he feels like you are disrespecting him, he's putting something in your neck. Just like when they want some XEX. They don't give a damn that you in here doing certain services for them. Okay? They may care a little bit and other people may protect them. But if those people are not there or if something else happens, who's to say they didn't try to do something to the person or they didn't do something to them, whether it's the oral, or whether they just fully, full blown bit them over. You know what I'm saying? It's hard to believe that, none of this stuff goes on in prisons. I know that they be in there doing extra things. You know what I'm saying? I just noticed. It's a trip. So Scott got his ass whooped on March the 6th. They say he found himself entangled in a prison brawl with another inmate, Charles Miles. So they said the scuffle escalated to the point where Scott bit Charles' thumb. And then Charles began beating the hell out of him. Okay. They said even the guards are scared to cross hardened criminals inside prison walls. They said if you bump into the wrong person, they will unalive you. So yeah, at least he tried to fight back, but at least he tried to fight back, but they whooped his ass, and that's on everything. So let's go ahead and go into another one. So listen to this right here.
A Seacom man accused of assaulting and attempting to rape his female Uber driver. Seacom police say that suspect lured the driver into a long, dark driveway and attacked her.
Police say what the driver did next actually forced her attacker to run. WBC's Paul Burton is live for us in Seacom tonight. Paul, you spoke with a neighbor who helped that woman.
Yeah, absolutely terrifying moments for that Uber driver who was brave enough to lay on her horn even while under attack. That's when neighbors heard her cry for help.
She was yelling like, "Please call 911. I'm an Uber driver. This guy was trying to kill me."
John Welcome and Taylor Rosenholm say they were about to go to bed when they heard the frantic sound of a car horn outside their home. When they came outside, they found a female Uber driver terrified, saying she was just assaulted by her passenger. Welcome said he was speaking with her through her window.
She was worried that the guy was still around the car. So she had me stay in the window, and she was definitely very scared.
Welcome immediately called 911. Police say they later arrested 25-year-old James Oakes of Seacom. Investigators say he first tried to lure the Uber driver to a remote location, but she felt uncomfortable. That's when he allegedly began to assault her in the car. But police say she was able to drive erratically while under attack and coming to a stop on Arrowhead Road on their yard.
He put his arm around her neck and they're fighting and they almost hit the rock fence over there and somehow ended up in our lawn. The cops came and found a hat in our lawn, I guess, from him escaping.
Oakes was arraigned today on several charges, including strangulation, kidnapping, and assault with intent to rape.
This Uber driver started feeling something wasn't right, and I think she was starting to plan what she was going to do, and that probably is what helped her. So My message is be aware of your surroundings.
Fortunately, the Uber driver is expected to be okay. Police say they are familiar with the suspect. His home is one door away from where the alleged assault took place.
That is crazy.
His father says he's not surprised by his son's actions.
He's been like this a long time. Like I said, he hasn't changed. He goes out, smokes his weed. He's just a little troublemaker.
That's his father.
Little, he's an adult.
This couple just happy they were able to help the Uber driver.
It was definitely took us by surprise. Definitely, it was scary. You see a car driving through your yard.
The thing is, I don't know how they be picking up these damn people. Okay, I'm gonna be perfectly honest because damn, and it be some weird ass people. I don't know how they still do it, especially females. But at least she was smart and she did everything that she did. Because if she wouldn't have did all of that, he probably would have unalived her and stuff. So I'm glad she is okay. I know she's shaking up. He didn't get a chance to grape her, because of everything that she did. But I'm telling you, girl, if you guys do this type of job where you are picking up people, you better start making plans and you better do what you need to do. Because people be getting in your cars, you just never know what the hell they have, what intentions they may have. Goodness, that's crazy. Crazy as ever. Let's see what some of these people saying. Somebody said he needs to go away for a while. Somebody else said the justice system sucks. And somebody else said he probably did it before. Well, his dad says he is a troublemaker. He does things like this. So I'm pretty sure he probably did do it before. Live right next door. That's crazy. People are crazy as hell. All right, but I'm glad she's okay, and I'm glad she fought back and got that situation, from being worse. Check this out. A Southwest Airlines passenger allegedly stripped naked and then pooped on the seat as the plane landed. Some of these people are absolutely nuts, you guys. Okay, I mean, absolutely nuts. What in the heck would possess a person to take all of their clothing off? It was a female. And then defecate in her seat as the plane landed. They said police officers were called to Chicago's Midway Airport Saturday as Flight 418 from Philly arrived with one passenger shocking the cabin by taking off her clothes and using the bathroom on her plane seat. That is nasty, man. That is nasty. So they don't know what happened to the passenger. They did have to take the plane out of service to clean it. That is damn nasty. Yeah, was she crazy? Was she having a mental situation going on? Why in the heck did she take all her clothing off, you guys? And then use the bathroom in her seat? That is nasty, you guys. Just the thought of it. She got shit on her. I just can't do it. That's nasty. I know everybody in there was like, yuck, because I know she smelled. That is damn nasty, you guys. It really is. Damn, I cannot believe how nasty some people are. My gosh. The only thing I can think either she was intoxicated, got some mental issues, or just plain, I don't know, just weird. I don't know, it's strange. Anyway, they don't know what happened to her, and I don't have any updates, so it is what it is. Check this out, you guys. They got a dash cam that captures a panther lunging at a truck driver. They say he mauled the victim's head before running away. Let's see. I can't show it on here because it may be too violent. But where did this happen at? So this is in a different country. So this truck driver was pulled over on the side of a road. All right. And that's when the Black Panther jumped on top of him. Okay. They said the man suffered severe injuries to his face and head. Okay. And another driver had all of this on video. So let me see this video, what it looks like. Then if I can, I may show y'all. See. Hold on, let me put it up. Let me put it up higher. I think I'm making sure because they didn't really show anything. See. Let me look at it real closely. Yeah, you can't really see shit. You can't really see nothing. I mean, you don't really see anything, guys. I'm just gonna be perfectly honest with you. You see the cat running away. That's about it. He pulled that driver. Look, it looks like he pulled the driver out of the truck. Damn, a black ass panther. I don't know if I can pull this up on X. Let me see if I can pull it up on TikTok. The Black Panther. Let me see if I can pull it up and show you guys. Let me spell plant. Okay. Wait a minute. What attacks? Okay, let's see if I can pull it up on TikTok. Oh no, we may can't. Yeah, here it is right here. Let's see if we can see it. Okay. Let me turn this damn music down. Okay, these people with this damn music. Let's see. Oh, I got to share. Hold on. Share screen. Share screen. Y'all be tripping. Here it is right here. And I know I'm going over a little bit. So they're not showing anything. I don't see anything. They don't have the actual one, I guess. Okay, let me go see if I can find it. This is not the same one anyway. I'm looking for the other one. May not can see it on here because I don't know if I can go to X and show it because you have to sign in. This is not this, but since we can't find the other one, let's look at this one real quick. Man, this is tripped out. Let's look at this black. Is that him right there? His little eyes. Okay, look at that. Let's look at this black. That ain't no damn. That's a kitty cat. These people are crazy as hell. Let me turn this up. I'm going to turn the music down, y'all. This is funny. Wait. People say, bro, that's a cat. Boy, that's funny, y'all. That was crazy. I'm like, there he is right there. There's his eyes right there. It's a damn kitten. A kitty cat. I'm looking for the one where I'm just telling you guys about. I don't see it on here. They may not have it on here. But look, this is a Black Panther. Just in case y'all want to see, this is a fake one right here. We can't look at. Let's look at a real one. Let's look at a real one. This is fake. Let's look at a real one. Let's see. Let's look at Luna. I think this cat named Luna. Is this the Luna right here? No. This may be Luna. Let me see if this is the one. This is a Black Panther right here, you guys. Look. Or just Luna. Luna is not attacking his master, okay? Luna is beautiful. See Luna? That's Luna right there, you guys. Luna be doing it most. That's their pet, okay? I want to see a real one. Let's see. Is this a panther attack right here? I bet you it's not. Let's see. Let's just see real quick. That is a Black Panther right there. Now that is one. Look how he's walking and stuff, you guys. Look at this. Oh, yeah, they be walking like they going to F somebody up. Look how he's sneaking around. Yeah, he getting a cat or a dog or something. Oh, my gosh. What is that he got, you guys? Oh, man, this was back in 2021. He took that little animal. Damn. That was in 4 years ago. He done ate that damn dog. Look at this. Poor doggy. Oh, that is sad, you guys. Damn it. I don't like seeing this right here. Why did the owner have the damn dog outside? Some of these owners need their asses kicked. If you know you live in an area where there are panthers or mountain lions or a bunch of just one coyote, you should not even have your animals outside. Gosh. That's crazy. What country is this? They said it probably was a stray dog. It doesn't matter, man. God. I don't know why, these people get these dogs. Somebody says the panther, okay, I want my precious cat. Get what? Okay, but anyway, that is a panther right there, you guys. And so let me just see if I can show y'all this video right here that I got on my phone. Let me see if I can show it to y'all real quick. Let me see. So let me see if I can show it to y'all. This is the one with the panther was getting. I know you probably won't be able to see this that clear. Let's see. I don't know if y'all gonna be able to see this, but I'll show it to y'all real quick. Hold on. It's starting back over. Just be patient. You can see the dude. There's a panther right there. He ran across the street and he pulled that man out of the truck. So you can't really see like good on here. Let's see. See that panther running across the street? You can see him. He pulled the man out and mauled him. So he pulled the man out of the truck. The man had pulled over on the side of the road, and the Black Panther jumped inside of the truck, I guess, because the window must have been down. You saw him run across the street, the panther. That's crazy, man. But I still like those creatures, okay? They're very dangerous, but I still like them. They're beautiful creatures. I saw one at the zoo, but that is crazy, man. Oh, man, just pull him right. Let me see. They pull him right out of that damn truck. Let's translate this. Let's see. Oh, they can't translate this right here, but let's see. They pulled that man right out of that truck, that panther did, and mauled him. Okay? That's what he did. Oh, okay. So this is what happened. When the victim got out of the truck to pee, okay, that's when he came out of the truck, out of the jungle, and then he mauled the victim's head before running away into the jungle across the road. The victim was taken to the hospital to be treated. Okay, so the man got out to pee, right? And clearly the panther was watching him. All right. Then while he was peeing, I guess, the panther jumped on him and mauled the victim's head before running away. I guess the two people who were in that car ahead or whatever, they must have made some noises or had a weapon or something, or just made some noises and scared the panther. And that's why the panther took off and started running. I couldn't tell what they were doing, but it looks like they was doing something. Let's see. Let me see real quick. Let me start my eyes back over. Well, this is the same video. This is something different. Something different. Hold on. Let me see. I don't know why he ran the panther. Maybe the person who's filming this, I'm thinking maybe the person who's filming this that was in a car, maybe that car blew. Okay, maybe the person who was in that car blew filming it, and then the panther got scared and ran. That's what it looked like to me, because the person who's filming this is driving. So the person in the car must have been blowing his horn, and it scared the panther, and the panther took off and started running. That's what I'm thinking, which saved the dude's life. But he had mauled the person and stuff. That's crazy, man. I'm glad the guy, did not get unalived and get really, really, really hurt and stuff. And I'm glad that the person in the car, rolled by, blew his horn or whatever he did to make the panther, run it back into the woods. Mm-hmm. Damn. That's why I don't be messing around in that forest anymore, you guys, because mountain lions be out there, they be watching you. Next thing you know, it's all up on you, so yeah, I can't do that. Mm-hmm. So let's see what else we got, you guys. 2 more stories, and that will be it. So they did get a final autopsy report on Gene Hackman. It reveals acetone and prolonged level of fasting. I don't know how long, maybe it was because he was unalive after his wife and he probably couldn't get food. I don't know. So they say he reportedly passed on after fasting for an extended period of time. So they say he had trace amounts of acetone in his system. Acetone is a colorless solvent found in nail polish and paint remover. It's also a product of diabetic and fasting induced ketoacidosis, as well as a metabolite following isopropanol ingestion, which is, I guess, some kind of like alcohol or something. Okay, let's see. So they say his acetone levels were at 5.3 mg. They said whereas reported normal endogenous acetone levels in blood are up to 0.3 milligrams. But they did say the amount that he had in his system is consistent with a prolonged level of fasting. They also said that he had a history of congestive heart failure and severe chronic hypertensive changes, kidneys. A biventricular pacemaker was placed in April 2019, and the autopsy also noted 2 neurodegenerative features consistent with Alzheimer's diseases. Goodness, he was messed up, man. So his kidneys were being affected from high blood pressure. Okay. He also had a pacemaker. Damn, he had a lot of stuff, but he was like, what, 90 years old or something? Goodness, he had a lot of stuff going on. And so, a lot of stuff going on. So he was fasting. Okay. He was, I guess, maybe his wife had him fasting before she passed on, because some people say fasting can help clean out toxins out of your body and stuff like that. But for some people, fasting can be dangerous. So, so he was fasting before. And then, of course, they didn't say he was starving to unalive him, but they did say he was fasting before he passed on. So his wife probably had him on that type of stuff. Somebody said he was not fasting. If he was doing anything, he was forgetting when to eat or simply choosing not to. Okay, well, I don't know. I'm just reading what the things say, so we don't know what actually happened during the time that he, was alive and his wife had passed on. So check this out. A teenage girl was dancing on top of a car or something. or a truck or something like that. I think she was dancing on top of a car or something like that, and she fell. When she fell, she was hit and unalive by a fire truck. Can y'all believe that? Man, that is a sad situation, man. And my condolences are expressed out to her family, her friends, and anyone that knew her. And my prayers are sent out to them. That's sad. And then I already told you guys about T.D. Jakes. He steps down from the mega church Potter's house, and he handed over the leadership to his daughter and her husband. Okay, and he stepped down. He allegedly said he stepped down allegedly because he said he wanted to focus more and help his community. Okay, that's what he claimed. Now, he is still going to be a pastor. He just will not be the leader of his church anymore, okay? Like I said, he said he wants to continue doing work with the community, all right? And there you go. And as you know, you guys, you already know that when he did that little, he had a little situation going on the stage when he was preaching or singing. He had a heart attack, okay? And I think they had to do some type of procedure on him and stuff. I think that's what I read. Okay, so that's T.D. Jakes news. And one more story, that will be it. And if you are here in California, you have until May the 7th to get your real ID, all right? And the real ID is needed. It's required. You know, you don't have to get it though. But if you don't get it, you're not going to be able to fly or go into government buildings starting May the 7th, unless you have a passport. Okay? So I don't know if that's just California or all over. They also rescued some baby ducks out here after they became stranded on 91 freeway in Riverside. They so cute. Oh, the whole little family, honey. I'm wondering, how did they get on the freeway? That's crazy. Let me show y'all. Look at these little ducks on the freeway. Let me see if they'll show a video. Actually, we can't get a video. I told you we weren't going to be able to get it. No, we may be able to. Let's see. After they get through with these damn ads. Hold on, y'all. I got to let these ads go off. I hate these ads. They be on all the time. Thank you, Jermaine. We are getting ready to get out of here. Thank you guys so much for tuning in as well. Let's look at these little ducks. On the little freeway, just walking. And they came out there and got them. Look at this. They would have got unalive if he wouldn't have got them and saved them. The mama just took off and left her babies. Girl, if you don't stop. Damn, birds. Now, how is the mother going to get back to her ducks? Huh? If she leaves. Animals, man. So let's see. So they were stranded near the Mission Inn exit. Let's see if, so they said the mama duck apparently flew away, but the plan reportedly was for an animal control to try to reunite the duck family once all the ducklings were captured. Damn, she just left her babies? Girl. Damn, they scared away the mother. Well, at least, you know, they saved the duck's life, okay? I mean, the lives. Hey, Most Hated, what's up? What's up? I want to know, how did they get there, too? They just walked there, probably, more than likely. But anyway, hopefully the mom, I don't know how the mom will find her babies anymore, but it is what it is. Y'all don't know what to say. Goodness. Somebody said so they scared away the mother and now they are separated. Nothing cute about that. That's crazy. Okay, well maybe, the duck mother came back and found him. Damn, she probably sad as shit. Goodness. Okay, let's see what else we got here. Okay, one more story. That's crazy, you guys. I think that's it with the news I have. Oh, if you are on blood pressure medications, okay, they said blood pressure medications might be doing this to you, okay. They say it could be messing with the key enzyme called ACE2, and that enzyme actually helps to protect your heart. All right. So they said that researchers found that most ACE inhibitors, except lisinopril, can block ACE2 in ARBs, and it might even raise the wrong hormone levels. But they did say some good news is that new plant-based ACE2 treatments are being tested, and they could be a game changer for heart health. So let's see. So, well, a doctor here, this is not actually a doctor, but I just want to read what this doctor said. This want to be doctor. This person said your high blood pressure is the result of poor diet and not enough sleep, lack of exercise, too many carbs, sugar, high cortisol, low magnesium and potassium, D3, K2. Mine was elevated. Now it's normal, even though you don't need drugs. That's true, okay, for some. But some people have hypertension because it's somewhat run in their family, and it's like hereditary, okay? And you can eat good, you can get enough sleep, you can exercise, and everything, and still develop hypertension. Some people are more prone to it, like myself. When I call hypertension, I slept good, I ate good, I definitely get enough exercise. The only thing that I did eat a lot of, like always, is candy, but everything else was good, but mine mainly came from my mom having it and grandmother having it and things like that, and of course, as I got high blood pressure, when I had it, once I had it full blown, then other things can contribute to making you maintain hypertension, if I said that correctly. But some people get it anyway. It doesn't matter. For some people, it's like diabetes. Some people are just more prone to get it. I know people who eat candy all the time and they don't even get sugar diabetes. Like this one older lady where we used to go get her candy all the time. She never developed diabetes. But somebody like me, if I was eating candy like her, I would have it. So I think a lot of times too, yes, diet and all that stuff will play a role in it and everything this person said. But at the same time, some people just catch that stuff. You know what I'm saying? Hypertension, some people just get it. And Black people are more prone to have hypertension anyway, because of all the stress and things like that. So let's see here. And it is, okay? It has a significant genetic component and tends to run in families. All right? So it's not true with everybody. Some people are just more prone to hypertension because people in their family, like mom, dad, things like that, have it and things like that. But of course, food and stuff and all that can, contribute to hypertension. But again, like I said, some people just catch it and they eat good, like myself, get sleep, and everything. Now, granted, once I call hypertension, I don't be going to sleep all the time, okay? So that can probably make it worse, but mine has been controlled, you know. So like I said, these affect people different ways, you know, it really does. So yeah, that medication, I don't know if they were saying that lisinopril, whatever, however you pronounce that. Let me see. They said that hold on, let me see. They said that lisinopril or lisinopril, it does not block your ACE2 in ARBs, but they said other or most AC inhibitors do, except lisinopril or lisinopril, lisinopril. Okay. I was reading without know these people, huh? Oh, I think different pills. I'm reading some of these people comments, but I think different pills, you know, some pills work for people, some pills don't. It just depends, you know what I'm saying, on the person and their bodies. You know, some people have all types of reactions, negative reactions from hypertension medications, and then some people like myself don't, other than, you know, the pills taste nasty. That's it. You know, so I just think it depends on your body. I really do. And you just have to, you know, get what works for you. You know, whatever, you know, talk to your doctor, find out what works for you and go from there. And as far as the drugs that cause ACE, that block your ACE2 and your ARBs, you just need to talk to your doctor about that. But they did not say lisinopril does. They didn't say that blocks the ACE2 or the ARBs. Okay, they said the other inhibitors do. And let's see some hypertension inhibitors. What are they? Okay, let's see here. Oh, yeah. Inhibitors, right? Can I spell that word? Let's see. So they said high blood pressure drugs that are inhibitors include ACE inhibitors, ARBs, and beta blockers. Okay. So the ACE inhibitors block the action of the enzyme ACE. ARBs block the actions of the hormone angiotensin 2, and beta blockers block the effects of the hormone adrenaline on the heart and blood vessels. A lot of Black people take beta blockers because they work better for Black people. That's what I take. I think mine is a beta blocker. I don't take the ACs and things like that. Let's make sure. Yeah, I don't take those. Yeah, the ACE inhibitors are these medications. Let me just show you on the screen. These are ACE inhibitors, in case you're on blood pressure medications. I'm not going to be able to say these names correctly. But a lot of Black people don't take these right here. Some may, but not too many. And then the other one is the angiotensin receptors blockers, the ARBs. And it's losartan. And then here's the beta blockers down here. See, I take the beta blockers, okay? All right, so there you go. And the other ones that I said, the ACE inhibitors, and I think the ARBs, I think they said the ACEs and the ARBs, if I'm not mistaken. Those two, most of those medications blocks the enzyme ACE. And let me go back to the article because I think that's what they said, something like that. Let's see. Yeah, they said that it could be messing with a key enzyme, ACE2, that actually helps protect your heart. And they said researchers found that most ACE inhibitors, except lisinopril, can block ACE2 and ARBs. Okay, so the inhibitors can block the ACE2, and then the ARBs can even raise the wrong hormone levels. Okay, so that's what they said. That's an unexpected side effect. Okay, and there you go. So we got it clear now. The ACE2 medications, the ACE inhibitors medications can block the ACE2. And then the ARBs medication, they say it could raise the wrong hormone levels. Okay. And I just showed y'all the ACE meds. And then I showed you guys the ARBs meds. Okay. So those meds could do what I just said. One could block the ACE2. That's the ACE inhibitors. And then the other one, the ARBs, they could raise the wrong hormone levels. Got it? Now, you finally said it right. There you go. And beta blockers, they have side effects too, okay? Different side effects. But, again, you have to weigh the pros and the cons, okay? Because if you don't treat your hypertension, it can eventually, damage your organs. It can make you go blind. It can cause kidney damage. It can do just so much if you don't treat hypertension or if you don't take the correct medication. It can also enlarge your heart. It can do so much, man. You just don't know. It can do a lot of stuff. Trust me. So you definitely, if you have hypertension, you have to take hypertension medication. You need to definitely take it. And if you have a good doctor like myself, they will try to, see if you can, eat certain foods and fruits to lower it. And the doctor will do it though, if you have a good doctor. And if you can be successful with that, then they start reducing your blood pressure pills all the way down until one day you just don't have to take them. But some people like myself, that doesn't work. I will always take hypertension medications because my mom has it, my grandmother has it, and it's hereditary. Okay, so I'm just the unfortunate one who caught it. You know what I'm saying? So I have to take the medication. But mine has been a blessing because it has not even created any type of problems for me. Not any. My blood pressure, majority of the time, stays, within its level and stuff. So it is what it is. All right. So yeah, I think that's it, guys. We had a good live tonight. Thanks to everybody for coming, everybody in the bushes, everybody who watches us in the replay. Over here in the chat, we got Kim B up in the house. Thank you so much, Kim. Most hated. Thank you so much for being here. Nick the Great, thank you so much for stopping by, being here. Jermaine, stinking ass, thank you so much for being here, Jermaine, like always. Okay, stinking ass, Jermaine. Talking smack in the chat. Let's see who else came up in this place. And then we had, what was that dude's name? Rent a Man, who was over here. Excuse me. So we had Rent a Man up in this place. Thank you so much for being here. And again, thanks to everybody in the bushes and everybody who watches this in the replay. We didn't do too bad, y'all. We went over by 40 minutes, but it's cool. I'll get it straight eventually. All right. And so tomorrow I'll come back and we'll finish any discussions and I'll give you more updates on Shannon, on Diddy, on let me see if I can say his name right. Hasten Allison. I think the jury is in deliberation right now. So sometime this week, probably a couple of days or so, they're gonna come back with the verdict. Okay. Yeah, we're gonna come back with the verdict and stuff. And if I get any other information or updates on any of the things that I talked about, any other cases that I have covered, I'll let you guys know tomorrow. All right. Other than that, y'all, don't forget to thumbs up this video if you enjoyed this content. Also, if you're not subscribed to the channel, please subscribe below and hit that bell notifications so you can be notified of any upcoming videos. Make sure you share and leave a comment. Check out all my videos, y'all, my reaction videos, my YouTube shorts, my house unpacking, and what else? Did I say my Dollar Tree hauls? Yeah, and my other reaction videos. And check out my community board. All right, and check me out on TikTok at Shades2. Until tomorrow, guys, have a good night, and don't forget, sleep tight. Don't let the bed bugs bite. All right, peace out, y'all.